All right, let's go over the basics of Moodle and all the things you can do on there. So the first thing I want to draw your attention to is that there are two columns on the left and right, which are called blocks, which give you some extra access. So the left block basically allows you to shortcut to different units if you want to go that route. Some students prefer not to go and use this at all. They just scroll down to the section they want to, but that's available if you're interested. And the right side, which gives you pretty much all the up-to-date information of things you need to worry about and do. So, for example, you have the upcoming events, which will tell you exactly which assignments are coming up in the near term. And you can see that there's already a syllabus posted due August 20th. So if you click it, it'll take you to it, and you can add your submission directly there, or you can scroll down to where the assignment is, which is under Start School Activities. It's up to you, but this gives you a quick overview of what you need to take care of in the near future, so it helps you avoid missing assignments. You also have the calendar, which gives you a little bit more detail. It's not completely filled up yet because there's not a whole bunch of deadlines yet, but basically anything that has a little blue dot on it is something that is going to be due on that day. So this is good for planning purposes. So you could kind of see a month in advance or a couple weeks in advance, all the things you need to finish and when. So just like before, if you click it, it takes you to a page where it gives you direct access to it. So kind of speeds up the whole process for you. In addition, on the left column, you also have Lost Souls, which is basically, well, not Lost Souls, but a level up game. This one's currently Lost Soul, which is the lowest level. It tells you where you are relative to the points for the leveling up game that's part of the class. You can even check out the leaderboard and check out where you are relative to other people. You have the completion progress, which basically tells you where you are relative to the whole year. So this is not necessarily the most useful tool to use because in the beginning it's just going to have a lot of blank on it. Up here, do you have a checklist? This is going to be a little bit more useful to you, and this will tell you exactly where you are in the current topic or section that we're on. So let's go over into the middle section, which is where the crux is. Announcements, I rarely post them on there. If I'm going to post an announcement, it's going to be to Google Classroom. So we have course resources, things that will be useful, like the Google Classroom codes, group norms, lab resources, so on and so forth. So these are just general things that could be useful. These are the things that we're going to be using in the first unit, which is basically our start of school activities. So these are all things you need to finish. You click it and you open it, and then it'll take you to a website concerning survey, or it'll take you to some sort of question and answer or something you upload. So these are all the starting school activities. Moving on down, we have the study system stuff. So if you want to get extra logs, there's one right there. You could download it and use it. Each section also has a checklist, and I should show you the one for this one real quick. So this tells you where you are relative to where you need to be for that topic. So in this unit or section, it's 22% complete based on the ones that are finished. So as you finish them, this will click automatically, and then once you see it 100%, you know you're all good and you're done with that topic. So it's a quick way for you to see where you are relative to where you need to be. And for those that have a lot of time issues, you could always work ahead, obviously, so you don't have to wait for something to be assigned to work on it. And the reason you can do that is under each unit, there's going to be an agenda posted. So let's open this one up real quick. So here's our agenda for the unit. So you can see everything is spelled out, day 1, day 2, so on. It's dated. This is what we're going to be doing in the first week of school. It gives you homework assignments. Some of them have hyperlinks directly to whatever the assignment is. So this is basically a streamlined way for you to figure out exactly what you need to do. So for those that have time issues, you can just look ahead and do assignments ahead of time. Like if you know you're not going to have any time during the week, but you have some time during the weekend, feel free to jump ahead and do some of this work, so that way you're not going to be overwhelmed during the week. So that's going to be posted, and it's accurate. And also, if you're absent, instead of asking me what you miss, just pull this up and they'll tell you exactly what you miss, what you need to do. As there are adjustments made on this, as there are adjustments made in the class, I'll make adjustments on here as well. So this is going to be fairly accurate. So this is how you can tell what's going on each week. And you can see the whole unit is pretty much spelled out until September 20th, and you'll see that for every unit thereafter. So it's an easy way for you to figure out what's going on, what you need to do. We're going to backtrack a little bit, look at Unit 1 questions. So a way for you to be able to get your questions answered, especially for those of you guys that are uncomfortable asking in class, or just don't know when to ask or forget to ask when class comes around because this was during lecture or during you looking over the PowerPoint. You can use this to help answer questions. So it's a weekly questions page. Basically, you open it up, and then there's 3 different categories. Need another example means that you have an idea what's going on, just need more information on it. Click that, put your question here. Clarification, you need to have more detail. Completely lost means that you were there for the lecture, you were there for the going over the content, but you just don't understand a particular topic. You can list the topic here, and I'll try my best to try to come at a different angle if possible to help address whatever issue you're having with it. So this is what you would be opening up on a weekly basis. And the best way to approach this is basically, let's say you're going over a lecture tonight, and you're like, okay, I don't get what this is or this is. Just jump in there, put it in there already. Or if you want to wait until after lecture to do it, that's fine too. But this is one way for you to communicate with me when you are getting confused in the class. And this will be on a weekly basis, so that will always be available. All right, so moving on down, each one of the units will have is Unit 1 question, Unit 2 questions, so on and so forth. We have the PowerPoints, we have the agenda. So the PowerPoints, if you click it, the PowerPoint itself will pop up, and this is a detailed version. This is even more detailed than what I cover. And then you have this thing called a screencast. What the screencast does, it takes you to YouTube and allows you to look over the content with me voicing over it. So it's a shortened version of the PowerPoint. It's condensed, so it's not like super long. You see, it's 11 minutes. It's basically the same thing that'll be occurring in class. So for those that either are absent or B just want to go over the content one more time without having to sit there and read all the information, this is an option for you. So be aware of that. And each unit has it. You could click the screencast and look at it. Assignments, you can see you have Anki decks that you'll be downloading either in the back of the classroom, or if you have a PC or a laptop, or excuse me, MacBook, you can do these at home as well. This is where you'll be submitting your Anki. Concept masteries, we'll discuss those when they come around, but these are where you'll be submitting it, and this is what the CAM scanner will be used for. Assignments, these are the assignments that you'll be doing for the unit, and feel free to work ahead. Unit 1, experimental design 1, for example, doesn't require you to wait for the first topic to be covered. It's a lot of it's just basic common sense, logic stuff, so you could do it anytime you want to. There's a point associated with it. A lot of these assignments, especially these ones that have the digital component like this, what you can do is actually put in your answers and check them. So if you click check, it'll tell you if you're right or wrong. I can't do it on my screen because I'm on the teacher mode, but on your screen, they'll tell you exactly which ones you missed. So this is one way for you to help figure out what you're doing. Just make sure you answer all the questions on the page before you submit anything or check it. If your answers are wrong, you can go back and fix them. Click check again, and if you're all right, then you're about done. You can go on. And you basically control how many points you get on these assignments because each of them have 3 attempts. And if you're content with a lower score, so be it. But if you want to take advantage of the second or third attempt by doing the check feature and adjusting your answers, you can max out on every one of the assignments. So you have a great deal of control over your grade in that respects, if you're interested in it. All right, going back to the main screen again. We have our assignments that we just covered, concept masteries, and then journals. We'll talk about that in class. This is where your labs are. This is where you'll be submitting your labs. Assessments. So self-tests, pre-quizzes. This is the first pre-quiz you're going to be doing, just basic questions to see what you know about a topic ahead of time, and then there's a post-quiz associated with it as well. So the self-tests, there's 2 of them for this unit. You need to have at least 3 of them done to open up the test reflection. And the test reflection basically is on your 3rd attempt. You're supposed to go and, for whatever ones you missed, go into some analysis why you missed it so that you can hopefully make some adjustments and get a better score next time. You need to have both reflections done in order to open the unit test. So be aware of that. You cannot open up the unit test until those reflections are done, and you can't do the reflections until you have 3 attempts at least. You have 5 attempts available, and the high score is the one that's going to be your grade. So you have complete control of your grade. This is the same testing category that unit exam is. So you could build yourself a little bit of cushion um, for your testing grade by, getting a better score each time. And if you open up the test ready checklist, it'll tell you which things you need to have completed ahead of time. So you'll mark off the things you need to finish in order to be able to actually open up the test, which is just 2 of the things. Some sort of glitch there. I'll fix it. All right, moving on. So concept mastery, labs, questionnaires, assessments. That's pretty much all the different components. So together, all this stuff will help you kind of not only control your grade, do the assignments and the test, but also know exactly what's going on so that you don't have the question, what am I supposed to be doing tonight? Just look over here whenever you open up Moodle, and it'll tell you real quick what you need to know. This also notifies you 3 days before an assignment's due that you need to complete it, so be aware of that. If you don't get the email, it's probably your spam folder. All right, that's all the information you can get from Moodle, and as you play with it, you'll get some more stuff out of it, but we'll talk about that later.